I died more to the Draconic Tree Sentinel before Maliketh than Melania, so let's cheese him the easy way with Rotten Breath. And because I hate YouTube channels that don't show where you are in a map before a fight or whatever, this is where I am. If you haven't beaten Maliketh, you'll come in beside the Great Bridge and you'll fight the Draconic Tree Sentinel about there. The trick here, well, call it trick, is to defeat Maliketh first by just running past the Tree Sentinel, going through the fog wall, and then entering the boss arena. So that's where we're starting from, because obviously I've already killed Maliketh. So just run up behind the Tree Sentinel. He only starts moving when you get a little bit close to him. And if you're behind him, he doesn't notice you right away. You can get in this proximity and fire off Rotten Breath, let it fully proc, and then run away. And you have just about enough time to let it fully proc before he starts attacking. Usually he comes out with a fireball first, but you never know. And now you can see he's getting DOT effects from the Rotten Breath, which afflicts him with Scarlet Rot. And so he can shoot fireballs and all sorts of attacks, but he can't walk past that doorway. And if you really want to avoid having to take any actions whatsoever, you can hide behind this column, and this way his fireballs won't get you. However, his lightning attack can, because that can get you even across the entire boss arena. He doesn't do it in this section, but trust me, he does it. Yeah, there you go. I don't think the AI is broken. It's just he's not allowed to walk through that arch, and the AI just doesn't know what to do with this, because he sees you, he knows you're there, he wants to attack you, but he doesn't have a path to come attack you. So I think the AI just kind of goes, well, you can see what it does. He just kind of acts casual and wanders around for a bit. And we're going to stand here until the DOT finishes. And it should be right about now. It does about 8,200 damage. I don't know if that's specific to my stats or his stats. I think it's Scarlet Rot, so that should be based on him. And here I go with a sword attack, kind of just by habit. But I just want to get his aggro so he comes back into this little hallway area. And I screwed up. I thought that column would protect me. It didn't protect me from the fire. Then he got me with that. I'm just really having a bad time here. But this is the one I killed him on, so this is one we have to watch. So here's the problem. I just fired off that Rotten Breath. If I don't let it fully proc, it doesn't actually afflict him with Scarlet Rot. You can see he's got no health bar. His health isn't declining right now. And that's because I forgot to top up on FP. So there we go. Fresh FP. Now I can get a full proc off for the Rotten Breath. I just have to get him close and get hit a couple more times in a stupid fashion. Again, he can get you through walls, so here I just waited till he turned his back, shot off the Rotten Breath. You can see he used more than half my FP, but once I finished getting my ass handed to me for no reason whatsoever, we can see that his health bar is there and it's diminishing because he is afflicted with Scarlet Rot. Obviously, you could fine-tune that and do a much smoother job of it than me. You know, in theory, you should be able to do this without taking damage. I just kind of suck. But yeah, there we go. He just died right in front of me. And then I swing my sword in triumph. Because this guy, I mean, I really hated this guy. I mean, he just comes in with those fireball attacks and sometimes just chains them over and over and over again. Like, I would have summoned if I could, but you can't summon on the bridge, so it doesn't matter. And I really like the aesthetic of Crumbling Farum Azula, by the way. I know a lot of people do. I'm not alone in that. But I do hate the platforming. And I guess the game's 2 years old now. I'm a latecomer. So I'll make this a spoiler. If you haven't finished Alexander's Quest and you don't know what's the end of Alexander's Quest, just cover your ears. But that's my least favorite memory of this place, is defeating Alexander and watching him blow up and his guts spill everywhere. And then I just took pieces of him home and back to Jarburg and gave his innards to his nephew or whatever the hell that guy is. There's my stats, in case you're wondering. The friggin' Tree Sentinel gave 28,000 runes. Like, 28,000 runes, thanks. 10% of the way to leveling up. But of course, I'm way over leveled. I pretty much finished the game except for Radagon at this point. Well, Radagon and Elden Beast. And now I'm just kind of going back and taking care of unfinished business. So I'm way over leveled, but you can see it's kind of a jack of all trades build. And I know I'm always curious. The Blasphemous Blade, you probably recognize that's a pretty popular weapon. Otherwise, I was using the Golden Order Seal. I have it at +9. I didn't fully upgrade it yet. That's the armor I have on. It's just a mishmash. Flame Drake Talisman and Bolt Drake Talisman are great against the Tree Sentinel for obvious lightning fire damage protection. So I'd highly recommend those. And finally, in case you're wondering, if you're not familiar with the incantation, Rotten Breath just channels Dragon to spew Scarlet Rot Breath, requires Faith 15 and Arcane 12. So I actually think I leveled up my Arcane just for that to 15. I went overboard, but whatever. And just so you can see what I was talking about earlier with the Rotten Breath, I'm just going to let it fully proc right now. And it uses over half of my FP, and I have 179 FP. So it probably uses at least 100, I think. And so therefore for the second... And therefore for the second shot, it just doesn't fully proc and therefore isn't effective in actually inflicting Scarlet Rot on this guy. Another option that I considered and didn't actually implement because he's already dead is Poison Mist. Poison Mist plus Scarlet Rot, or plus Rotten Breath. Get him stacked with both, and maybe he'd die without having to come in for the second Rotten Breath attack. But anyway, there you go. That's just one of the many ways to cheese this guy. Particularly useful if you have a Faith build and you have the Rotten Breath spell. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm not a gaming channel. Don't subscribe. Don't like the video. Just hope this helps someone, even though it's been 2 years since the game came out. But the DLC is coming out, so maybe more people will be playing the base game who didn't play it the first time around. So, yeah. Don't subscribe.